Hello to all my earths, winds, and fires. I'm Jason Danino Holt as the water, the missing element, and this is the Tube. It's a fresh new week, and that's how we're going to start it. The web controversy following Ariel Sharon's passing, the iPad that's going creative, the next big thing for PC gamers, a wearable camera for the obsessed, the social watch, and more. But let's start with some web activism. In January 2013, while facing several years behind bars, celebrated internet activist Aaron Schwartz made the final decision to take his own life. He was only 26 years old. 1 year later, the internet honors his memory by continuing his fight against censorship and online surveillance. Schwartz was charged of hacking MIT servers to release all research for public use. Now director Brian Knappenberg is set to release a documentary about Schwartz titled The Internet's Own Boy. The film's expected to provide an in-depth look at the circumstances surrounding his death. Activists from around the internet, in collaboration with organizations who openly battle the Stop Online Piracy Act alongside Schwartz, are planning a day of mass online protest in an effort to combat NSA spying. Their effort has been dubbed the Day We Fight Back, calling for a major web blackout. Knappenberg has joined the fight as well, releasing a preview of his upcoming film to support the Day We Fight Back movement. Here's the trailer.
The freedoms guaranteed in our Constitution, the freedoms our country had been built on, would be suddenly deleted. New technology, instead of bringing us greater freedom, would have snuffed out fundamental rights we'd always taken for granted. And I realized that day that I couldn't let that happen.
I don't think anybody really thought that SOPA could be beaten. I remember him just turning to me and being like, I think we might win this.
Aaron was one of the most prominent people in a community of people who helped lead organizing around social justice issues at the federal level in this country.
Wikipedia went black, Reddit went black, Craigslist went black, the phone lines on Capitol Hill flat out melted. Members of Congress started rushing to issue statements retracting their support for the bill that they were promoting just a couple days ago. And that was when, as hard as it was for me to believe, after all this, we had won. The thing that everyone said was impossible, that some of the biggest companies in the world had written off as kind of a pipe dream, had happened. We did it.
Yes, okay, moving on. Ariel Sharon, the former Prime Minister of Israel, was always a controversial man. So it's no surprise that upon his passing, the internet was filled with manifestations of sadness, but also some joy by others. People from both the right and the left saw him as a big enemy, and they had 8 years to prepare their comments on his death. The web itself was overcrowded with jokes about the former prime minister, and some even posted their feelings of joy and relief upon his passing away. Israeli Minister of Interior Defense, Yitzhak Aharonovich, already told the press that police will investigate who is behind all of the jokes and happy posts, in the hope of charging them with what? No one really knows. With us in the studio to shed some light on this alarming angle to Sharon's death is the Tube's chief editor, Yaron Tenbrick. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
So what were these posts actually about?
Well, they were about many things. They came from left and they came from right. You know, Ariel Sharon basically pissed off so many Israelis during his very long tenure as a politician, as an army leader. Like people attacked him because of his involvement in the First Lebanon War. People have attacked him because of his involvement, his leadership that led to the disengagement from the Gaza Strip. People have attacked him for his corruption, which was rampant in his last years. People had many reasons. People really, it seemed like they were waiting for his death to take all their poison out on him.
Okay, and what can the police do to people who write such posts on Twitter or Facebook?
Well, according to Israeli law, not much, but the minister does have the ability to make not a new law, but a new rule to the law, and kind of decide that he's going to fine people who disrespect dead leaders. I don't know that.
Disrespect, that's what's
Or
illegal there?
like, insulting public figure is punishable, actually, in Israel and in many other countries. And it's this kind of law that
Insulting where? In private, on the press, on the internet?
on public, of course.
Public.
On the internet is public. If you insult someone on Twitter, it's as if you insulted him in public.
But what is it?
I don't think it would stand in court, actually. I think it's more of, kind of a media stance, that the media went to the Minister of Interior Defense after they saw such posts on social media, and they said, "Are you going to do anything about it?" And he said, "Sure, I'm going to do something about it." But
is it really any different from what we saw in England after Margaret Thatcher, or in the U.S. after the death of Ronald Reagan?
It's quite similar. I think the main difference is that Israel is a very small country, and people know each other. A lot of people know each other. It's kind of very tight, and that kind of leads to people writing a tendency to write to the extreme. So if someone disliked Sharon, he will write like with real venom against him. And I think people on the Israeli web, especially on social media, don't like to show restraint, and are actually by their friends and peers lauded when they go all out, when they go really extreme.
But in the UK or the US, did anything happen legally to similar posts?
No, of course not. I mean, that's the whole point of freedom of speech. You can say stuff that is really, insulting and just plain mean, and as long as it's not liable or just a plain lie, you can say it. That's the whole idea behind freedom of speech.
Okay, so let's hope Israel is going to join the US and the UK in its freedom of speech laws. Thank you very much, Ellen.
Thank you.
Okay, how is the iPad Air selling these days? Very good, thanks for asking. But Apple will always want some more selling. So in their new ad, they decided to market it as a creative tool. How? By taking an audio clip from the 1989 film Dead Poets Society. In one of the film's pivotal moments, Robin Williams, as Professor Keating, attempts to inspire his students by delivering a speech about creativity. He also quotes from Walt Whitman to add to the drama. Apple's dramatic video is linked to a special page on its website that promises to deliver a series of video essays devoted to showing off how the iPad is being used as a content creation device and not just to buy stuff. Yeah, right. Here it is, anyway.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. Medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. To quote from Whitman, "Oh me, oh life of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish. What good amid these, oh me, oh life? Answer that you are here, that life exists, and identity. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse."
Okay, sorry, I loved it. For the last 2 years, we've been hearing about a new kind of game console, the Steam machine. Sorry, Steam, if you live in Gamers Mars, is a very popular gaming platform for the PC. Now, Valve, the company behind Steam, wants to enter your living room. Last week, Valve has announced the first wave of computers that can officially be called Steam machines at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Valve has released its Steam OS for free on the web, so anyone who wants to build a hardware for the new operating system. And somebody did exactly that. Made by a company called Alienware, owned by tech giant Dell, you can get all your fave PC games and play them on your TV screen. And with Steam, if you already bought the game, you can play them on any Steam machine. Just 8 inches on the side and 3 inches tall, Alienware's Steam machine is the size of a small game console, and the company claims it will be priced competitively with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Game on! If you like to constantly film your life and you feel that sometimes you miss the good parts, there is a solution that will make you squeal with narcissistic joy. Meet Mi Mini, a wearable video camera that's currently seeking $50,000 in crowdfunding on Kickstarter to help you save the best bits of your daily life for posterity without having to record everything and then edit the footage for highlights. Where is it different from any small camera? The Mi Mini records and deletes a continuous video loop until the moment something cool happens, at which point you press a button on the front of the device which tells it to save the last recorded loop. The camera then captures that cool thing that just happened just after it, well, happened. Sounds like something obsessive people will love? Well, there are a lot of obsessive people out there. Here is their Kickstarter pitch.
Imagine if there was a device that captured our favourite moments that would otherwise be lost. Meet Mi Mini, the world's first wearable camera that captures our favourite moments after they happen, giving you the gift of hindsight.
I wanted a way to create quality video of real moments. I was frustrated with
And now, the Social Watch. Vine is still out there to prove it is the coolest of the social networks, and here's a good proof. Twitter has teamed up with the Today Show to bring a Vine booth to the red carpet, which will capture 360 degrees loops of celebrity fashion. The results are indeed very cool. Pulp Fiction is one of those movies that geeks know by heart, so it's only natural it will get its own 8-bit 80s style video game, but it never did. Luckily for us, the Cinefix channel is imagining all kinds of movies as 8-bit games. Cool. Okay, there is a new Muppet movie coming our way, which is great news. Since it's not out yet, it wasn't eligible for a Golden Globe nomination, which pissed the Muppets off. Twitter pissed them off even more, so that's even better. We like our Muppets pissed.
Critics across the internet are outraged that Muppets Most Wanted was not nominated for over 247 awards.
Oh no.
That's terrible.
Hot Fudge 1218 says Muppets should have been nominated Best Picture for reals. Then Baby Bean 1128 proclaimed, it can't be. It's not out yet. You're ignorant. So then Hot Fudge 1218 said, don't call me ignorant. You don't even know. Then Baby Bean 1128 replied, good. I don't even wanna know. And then Rich Playa 33 raved, I made $2,000 just sitting at home. Click this link to find out how.
Well, he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. Humble, honest.
Muppets Most Wanted, finally eligible for nominations March 21st at theaters everywhere.
Kissy, kissy!
Rated PG.
Funny! Okay, that's it for today's Ding a Ling a Dong. We make noise also on our Twitter and our Tumblr. It's the Tube24. And always remember, it only hurts if you let it. Goodbye.